Surprise visits to Ukraine are becoming the norm now. After President Biden, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen was there to have a photo op with President Zelensky. Now you gotta wonder, what would our Treasury Secretary and the President of the Ukraine be talking about? Oh, I got it. They're talking about the United States and its taxpayers sending them billions more dollars, saying that we have a duty to defend Ukraine. Man, it's not like households here at home, they're just swimming in money. Rather, most of us are swimming in debt. Senator Chris Murphy has said that sending too much to the Ukraine at this point would only compromise the security of our country. Do you agree with him? Republican lawmakers have slammed the Democrats and Dr. Anthony Fauci for dismissing the lab leak theory, one that our own Department of Energy says could potentially have been the origin of the C-19 virus. Elon Musk has also alleged that funding for this lab came from none other than Fauci. And supporters of Putin, Belarus and China, they're now pushing for peace talks between Ukraine and Russia. It's better to hear than getting word that both of them are instead joining Russia in this war. Although officials here at home argue that Putin is not open to these talks. Now, before I continue, guys, please take a second, smash the like button for the video. It totally helps out a ton with the YouTube algorithm, and it gets more eyes on the facts that we talk about daily. And speaking of that, if you're in need of your daily dose of the truth when it comes to Social Security, the state of our economy, global happenings, the housing market, the stock market, and everything that's going on in Washington, D.C. that affects our lives, our families, and our bank accounts, make sure to subscribe. And if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description down below. It only takes like 15 seconds. You know that one saying that goes kind of like this: always appreciate what you have before it's gone? It's something that I used to tell myself daily because, every day is literally a gift to us. My grandmother used to say that too. And when it comes to peace, it's something that more countries are now appreciating more and more, especially given the fact that the conflict in the Ukraine has gone on for more than a year. Now, in a bit of good news, the president of Belarus met up and talked with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The president of Belarus openly said that his country fully supports a plan from Beijing to end the war in the Ukraine. Peace talks will be great, although officials here at home aren't convinced. Now, even with Russia signaling that they're open for peace talks, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, he's arguing that Putin's actions have shown otherwise. Now, according to him, quote, if Russia, President Putin, were genuinely prepared to engage in meaningful diplomacy necessary to end the aggression, of course, we would be the first to work on that and to engage. But there is zero evidence of that. To the contrary, the evidence is all in the other direction, end quote. Now, on the topic of direction, billions of dollars worth of taxpayer money will continue to be sent towards the Ukraine. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen went there in a surprise visit from another high-standing official from the United States. And in this meeting, Janet Yellen announced $1.25 billion more in economic aid to the country. Wasn't she just talking about how problematic it would be if the debt ceiling isn't raised? Sometimes I just can't believe what I'm reading nowadays. But I can't keep you guys from the truth, no matter how weird it is sometimes. Janet Yellen also said that the United States and its taxpayers have a duty to keep helping Ukraine out. Here's exactly what she said, quote, you are not alone. We are with you. The United States has your back, and we will stand with you for as long as it takes. From the start, we have been proud to support you, not only with words, but with actions. We have a basic moral duty to stand by you in your darkest hour. But as President Zelensky has said, our support is not charity. It's an investment in global security and democracy. It is in our vital interest to see a free and stable Europe, and that it's critical that we deter any other would-be aggressors who would be emboldened to otherwise seize territory, end quote. Do you agree with the secretary? At least one person doesn't, and that's Senator Chris Murphy. He says that we seem to be providing too much at this point, especially when it comes to weapons for Ukraine. Here's what he said when he was asked about President Biden's administration providing jets.
So our first responsibility as a Congress is to defend our nation. And we want to make sure we flow as much weaponry to Ukraine as we can without harming our ability to defend ourselves and our treaty allies. Remember, we have treaty obligations with NATO partners who are also in line for many of these same weapons systems. And so we are getting to a critical point in which we are potentially compromising American security and treaty ally security.
Would it be the same case for sending more money into Ukraine? I mean, our economy is not in the best position right now, even though we continue to be told the same story. But again, how do you guys feel about this? Now, if we're talking about feelings, Senator Joni Ernst was not shy with her feelings regarding the DOE's recent release of a statement regarding the origin of the C-19 virus. Check this out.
All right, folks, when the COVID-19 pandemic started in 2020 or before, there was a possibility out there that it could have been caused by a lab leak in China, right? But that was dismissed as a conspiracy theory. This was promoted as a conspiracy theory by this administration, by the media, by Democrats, by the NIH, by Dr. Fauci. A conspiracy theory. That was 3 years ago. Today, now we've learned from a leaked report that the lab leak most likely the origin of the COVID-19 pandemic. Most likely a leak. Okay, what a turnaround in 3 years. Okay, what we do know, American taxpayer dollars have gone to the Wuhan Institute of Virology to the tune of $1.7 million invested in dangerous, bad experimentations surrounding coronavirus. Our dollars, $1.7 million to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And the crazy thing is, folks, that they are still eligible to receive American taxpayer dollars in China to a lab that most likely had a leak that led to millions of COVID-19 deaths around the world.
A conspiracy that Elon Musk himself supported. Okay, the term conspiracy theory is going to be used very loosely now since more of them continue to be the truth. Check out this tweet and Elon Musk's response. Quote, Dr. Anthony Fauci funded gain of research at the Wuhan lab, lied to Congress about it, and now both the FBI and the Department of Energy have concluded that the C-19 virus originated at the Wuhan lab. Does that mean that Dr. Anthony Fauci funded the development of C-19? End quote. To which Elon Musk responded, quote, he did it via a pass-through organization, EcoHealth, end quote. Now, let me ask you guys, as American taxpayers, and even for those on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, how do you feel after seeing so much of our taxes being used on everything and everyone else but the American people? Like, that's a fair question to ask, right? Households in our country continue to suffer and struggle, but we've got tax dollars flying overseas. I don't know, guys. It just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. What about you guys? Is this what you expected of the elected officials? And you know what? This is why my contact details are in the description down below this video, because I want to make sure to help out this community as much as I can. Not just with our daily videos, but to help people get going again. Over in our Patreon community, we talk about investments that can be made through real estate, the stock market. There's also tons of opportunities to earn extra income through side hustles, starting small businesses, and generating multiple streams of income by leveraging these. Obviously, it's always wise to budget your cash flow. So if you guys want to join us in those conversations, feel free to join our Patreon community. There's a link in the description down below. Also, for the best way to invest in gold, you will find a link there as well. But before I go, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up for the video and subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. Appreciate you guys watching. Please be kind to one another, and I'll see you in the next one.